and that one was in Phoenix. And we went to that one, and it was an absolute blast. If you've never been to convention, you've got to go. And like Gene said, you can buddy up, you do whatever you need to do to cut costs to make it happen. You can pack a cooler with you and take sandwiches, whatever you got to do. Go to convention. It is an amazing experience. The next convention we went to was in Las Vegas, and that one was even more mind-blowing. I mean, they had this big, huge arena that you go see rock concerts in, and the place was packed. And it was just mind-blowing, and the training was amazing. They have some great ambassadors in the company that do some awesome training, and Plexus pulls out all the stops. I mean, they take care of you. They don't try to save any money when it comes to making sure you're taken care of. They do nice little things for you. So I'd highly recommend you go. We weren't able to go this year. We had a lot of things going on in our personal lives, and we just couldn't break away. And it reminded us of Dallas again. Here we were sitting here eating our hearts out, watching everything go down in Vegas, and we couldn't be there and be a part of it. We even had some of our team members and good friends there, and we couldn't be there with them, and that broke our hearts. It really did. It was hard to. It just felt like that we were not supporting them and being there with them. And actually afterwards, for me anyway, I actually started to kind of disconnect a little bit because I didn't have that. I didn't refuel my beliefs. I didn't get to convention and have that excitement and get those beliefs back. And so that started to dwindle a little bit. And I had a period of about 3 or 4 months there where I didn't do much with the business at all. I didn't reach out to anyone, and my business really suffered from it. What bothered me most was my team suffered from it, because like John Maxwell says, the team goes at the speed of the leader, and if the leader stops, then the team stops. So that was hard. That was hard to get through, and it's taken some time to slowly get things moving again, and it's. But it's a process, and I've read other stories of other ambassadors, a lot of them jewels and diamonds now, that have gone through similar situations where they've pretty much stopped and then turned it around again. So that's basically where Jade and I are right now. We're in the process of turning everything around. We're registered and got flights and rooms and booked. We're ready for Orlando, and we're excited to go there. Well, at least I am. I think I've thrown Jane into shock. I more or less just said, hey, honey, we're going to Orlando. Here's our flights, our rooms. And she's going, So if you see me out in the doghouse the next couple of days, you know what happened. But we're going to be in Orlando, and we're really excited about it. And I hope we can get some of our team there. And I hope every one of you on this call tonight can be there, because it will pay in spades in your personal life and in your business. It's an amazing experience, and I wouldn't pass it up for anything. So if I ever have to miss another convention, I'll probably be a basket case. So I can't do that. So that's about all I got to say about convention. If you haven't been, go. If you have been, go again.
I agree, Marson. Perfect. I love it. Love it. And yes, you and I talked about that several times after convention. So it's hard. So I appreciate that. Appreciate your tip.
Yeah, I sit here and did all the talking. I didn't give Jane a chance to say anything. Anything to ask, you know?
I'm thinking, well, he covered that point. Okay, we're good. But yeah, everything that he said was right on. First of all, I want to tell you, Jeannie, you look like a diamond up there and sound like one. I could not. It just blew my mind.
Thank you. You're gonna make me cry. Thank you, Jane. Thank you very much.
It was so cool.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was so neat. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing experience to be there. Last night, it took me a long time to go to sleep because I was trying to process all this is happening really fast. And it's just a big fear. And so I thought, well, okay, I need to like really get built up on my vital biome and then have some Valium for backup because I'm terrified of flying. I told him, I said, can we drive? That's my thing is I don't want to get on a plane. So, but I can't take that too much time off. So I'm just, to me, it's worth it. I was thinking about it today, to be able to go out there and do that. I'll get on the plane. I'll be a big girl. So that's where my biggest fear is and iguanas. I'm not, and crocodiles or alligators.
We won't
I know.
Jane. We'll keep you safe.
Somebody told her the geckos were falling out of the trees. So.
They are not.
When we went to Las Vegas, if you were in Las Vegas and if you've ever been to Las Vegas, you know that it's not the 70s anymore. You're not going to find the 99-cent buffet anywhere.
Right.
Or morning breakfast. It's going to cost you $50 to $100 a day to eat. And so we had one of our team members stay with us, and she helped with expenses. But we took off one morning and we went to Walmart and we bought a bunch of food because we had a kitchen in the suite, and it was worth it hoofing it back and forth to meetings and to the room because we were able to eat for pretty much nothing. And then every once in a while have a nice meal. So I think that's what we're going to do again. Wherever you can save some money, go ahead and try to do that. But it's so worth it being there and so much fun.
Yeah, I downloaded that app you were talking about, Gene, about the food service. I'm excited about that. That is awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. Yeah, we Ame Darling shared it with me last year when we got to Florida, and her and her husband are walking through and they went and picked it up. He brings it, and I called the resort to make sure, and they're very well familiar with Publix. And they said, yep, they deliver here all the time. And so they will bring it downstairs, and it's really cool. The lady texted me and said, he's downstairs. He'll be downstairs in 5 minutes. So Scott went down, and we got cases of water, like I said, snacks. I had big old fresh fruit bowls, just anything you want to get at your, at the grocery store. It was amazing. So Scott and I just filled up our hotel room with everything because we eat healthier then too. And we've got our snacks, and it's just, so much better. So I definitely, and you're paying grocery store prices. So just like Jane said, I looked, and like the buffet at that resort was like $21 or $28 for the breakfast buffet. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So it'll be worth it. So we love that app.
Awesome.
So, awesome. Thank you, Marcy and Jane, very much for sharing that. Sure appreciate your tips on that. Awesome. Okay. So I have a couple other people that are going to share with us some of their Super Saturday takeaways. So I'm going to let Lori, if you want to unmute, or I can unmute you too if you want me to. We'll have you share your Super Saturday takeaway. She was with us in Scottsdale. I'll find you, Lori. Oh, you unmuted. Good job. She was with us in Scottsdale, and see if, okay, did it unmute you, Lori? I unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Try it again, Lori.
Are we ready?
Go for it.
Oops. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Can
Lori.
you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I got to tip this thing up so I can talk. First of all, I concur with Jane and Marcin. You did look fantastic, and you did a wonderful, wonderful job. I was so proud of you.
Thank you.
What I took away from Super Saturday was all very basic. I love those gals that spoke, the two diamonds. And to me, when they touched on, once again, the power of three, which I am entirely guilty of forgetting how super easy you need to just apply that. And even regardless of what level you've reached or where you're at in the business, just implementing the power of three. That was something I loved hearing again. I mean, I know it, but it was great hearing that. What I also took away from Super Saturday was how awesome it was to set beside an ambassador that has kind of faded away. She had a lot going on last year, which that happens in life. And she was so excited. She messaged me at the end of the day and told me that she was already I think she already bought her ticket for convention. Little things like that really, really were truly good for me as well, to really give me back enthusiasm and I guess the will to just keep being the little engine that could. And that's kind of what I took away from Super Saturday, that yes, it is our business. It's up to us. But we are part of a really cool team. So that's it in a nutshell. I just felt great at the end and put a big smile on my face. So it was good.
That was awesome, Lori. And I love the little engine that could. I love that because I love that book. My boys read that all the time. So we say that all the time. So wonderful, Lori. And I love what you said about the power of three and just the basics, because you nailed it. I mean, that's something that there's so many things and we post so much training and so many things, but really it is back to the basics of what this training was on Super Saturday. That's really how I grew my business, how you grew your business, because you were one of my first ambassadors. And it's just, that's what we did. So it really is, you guys, what Lori said, just going back to those basics and the power of three. There's so much power in that, not overthinking it. So thank you, Lori, for sharing. I appreciate that very, very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to have,
you're welcome.
Thank you, Lori. She's not really super new anymore, but I am super proud of this gal because Cecilia actually went to school with Scott with my husband. So I did not know Cecilia until we got connected on Facebook when we moved down here because she's in Tucson. So Scott kind of got us hooked up, and then she contacted me when I had a special. And I was really excited because she was super excited about the gut health and just all of this stuff. So she got on the products. This girl has rocked the products, has an awesome testimony. And then I asked her, I said, do you want to have a sip and see? And she's like, yes. And she had this incredible, incredible sip and see and had all kinds of people that signed up and ordered from her. It was just amazing. She has a lot of influence. So it's been really rewarding just getting to see her. She showed up to Super Saturday. She drove to Scottsdale. She's been on all the calls. She's been doing everything. So I'm just really excited to see where she takes this in her time. So just to give you a little background, because I know a lot of you don't know Cecilia, so I'm going to have her share her takeaways from Super Saturday. So whenever you're ready, Cecilia.
All right. So if I start talking, does it just automatically pull me up?
Yep.
All right. I think that back to basics was probably the big takeaway. I'm like, oh, this is basic leadership stuff. This isn't Plexus stuff. This is leadership stuff. And so it can be applied anywhere really in your life. But I haven't told Jeannie this yet. The funny thing is I was waiting to get on Facebook and post about the deals and different stuff. Before I even had a chance, I had people that didn't even know I went to a conference for the weekend were messaging me like, all right, I'm ready to try this. How do I order? And so I'm like, oh, well, if you want to order, I actually have some promotions right now. And so before I had a chance, I had 3 people that were ordering. One just went online today and she's like, oh, I figured it out. So I just did it. And so I think part of the basics is just, I'm not a overt Plexus, drink it. I do want to keep it just kind of simple and let people figure it out on their own, but share with them my own experiences. And so it's just kind of been fun that, I've put little feelers out there, and just kind of watching things happen. So it's kind of fun. I don't have like some big bam takeaway from Super Saturday, except it was fun to meet Jeannie for the second time in person. Right. And then see Scott. I haven't seen him since our 10-year high school reunion, which, was like, 2 years ago? Huh?
Yeah, right.
Or 15, something. I don't know. just a few years ago. So I think it's just kind of fun to watch, old Payson folks and get connected and reconnected to people, and just finding that opportunities now through this, and just keep putting it out there and let people reach out to you.
Right. I agree, Cecilia. And she had one of her new ambassadors that came with her too. And so that was pretty cool, that joined her as well. And it was just neat, like Cecilia said, to, you build those relationships when you go to these events, and just seeing people in person, there's just something so special about that. So thank you, Cecilia, for sharing. Appreciate it. Okay. And I'm going to have Jimmy, whenever you're ready, if you will unmute, and she's going to share all her takeaways. And I know she doesn't need an introduction, so just go for it.
Hey guys. Okay, so I tried to pick a few things that maybe other people wouldn't pick, so we didn't talk about the same thing over and over and over. A few things that stood out to me. One thing was when, I can't even remember which one said it now. I think it might have been Jennifer Leith. To dress for success, okay? If we're well dressed, we feel good about the way that we're dressed, we're going to be more bold. Okay. We're going to be more successful. No, we don't all have to look like a diamond like Jeannie up on stage, but you did look amazing. Okay. But we don't want to look like the people of Walmart. Okay. And something that I thought of when she said this was just the day prior on Friday, I was at home in yoga pants. Like, that's what we get to work in, right? I got a phone call. Actually, it wasn't even a phone call. I got a text message from another parent. There was something going on with my child. School hadn't notified me. I needed to run down there and take care of the situation. I didn't stay in my yoga pants, guys. I put on a pair of jeans. Yes, they're not super fancy or anything, but I felt better. I felt a little more confident in jeans than I would have yoga pants with what I had to go face. And some of this has nothing to do with Plexus, okay? Today, and I apologize if I get cut out. My brother keeps trying to call me because I'm sure he probably saw my post. I had to go into a meeting with the school, and I wanted to make sure that I was bold. I was outspoken, like my brother. I stood up and I fought for my kids. So what I did is I wore my Sanders custom sign shirt. And any of you that know my brother, you know that the school probably would not want him in their face. I think I did an excellent job, partially because I had Sanders written across my chest, and it was like a reminder of me, you don't take any crap, you're not gonna back down. Same goes when I'm talking about Plexus or I go to an event. Saturday, I think I felt much more confident on Saturday because of the way that I was dressed as opposed to the way that I was dressed on Friday, because I put some effort into it. I have a friend on Facebook that is an image consultant, and she actually spoke on one of the Rock the Pink Live calls. And she has since signed up with Plexus under Tim and Michelle Thomas. But as I was listening to her call, I was at the gym in those yoga pants that, let me tell you, are camouflage. Okay, they're not the most stylish. I had on like a frumpy t-shirt. And she's talking about when you go to the gym, you don't dress like that. Yes, you don't have to have earrings and like makeup on and everything. They have a good workout outfit on. You're wanting people to want to be you. You have to have that image. Another takeaway was when they talked about sending them the post. Okay, just sending it to them, telling them what to do. A lot of times they will do that. And last week I had one of my newer ambassadors, Linda, she's not working the business yet. She's getting great results with the product. She sent me a message and told me, what was going on. And I said, you need to go post that. She's like, oh, okay. It had never occurred to her. So she went and she posted it on my team page. And I'm like, no. I mean, great for the team to see, but not what I was wanting. So I sent her a message back and I was like, hey, that was great. Leave it there. But could you please post it on your page so your friends see it? She's like, oh, I never thought of that. She just had to be asked to do it. Also, and this wasn't mentioned at Super Saturday, I can't even remember where I heard it. It must have been a video or a call that I listened to. They talked about the upline suggesting so say it's me and Summer has signed an ambassador, okay? And I'm talking to this ambassador, she's telling me like the great results that she's getting, but she hasn't posted or anything. For me to reach out like to that ambassador and say, hey, could you go post that on Facebook and tag Summer in it? You know, sometimes it's just easier for the upline to make the suggestion than for the sponsor to ask for that. So I thought that that was the really good tip. And then the last one that I had, and I do this a lot, and I know Summer sent me a message, I think last week. She's like, oh my gosh, I just didn't upsell. I got them to order, I can't remember if it was X Factor or what. I was so proud of her because I do it all the time. So, you know, you look at your report and sometimes we have people that are sitting at like 90 PV, or, you know, we have those people that we place their orders for them. And I had this happen today. So Cherie contacted me and she said, yes, I do need to order. I just need a bag of Slim. You guys know the look on my face when she said that. I'm like, oh. So I messaged her back and I said, okay, yeah, great. You can order that, or you could get free shipping by setting up a subscription of 130 PV. And, you know, I'm kind of thinking, oh, this is a big jump in price, especially when I gave her the price after the tax and everything. She did it. She did it. You hear me okay, Jeannie? Okay, Homer was calling in again. I'm gonna have to go take care of him in a minute. So yeah, don't be afraid to upsell to your customers or your ambassadors. Something as simple as that free shipping, even though it seems like a big jump, they go for it. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say.
Awesome. Thank you, Jimmy. Great tips. And yes, I love the upline one on, that's a great point on having
Yeah.
one to do that. I love that. So I wrote that down.
Exactly. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay.
You're welcome.
So yeah, lots of good stuff. You know, Super Saturday wasn't anything, you know, that most of us have not heard. That was the cool thing. It was just like Lori said, kind of something that all of us needed to rehear and need to rehear and need to rehear, because it's just the basics and getting back to making this simple, not overthinking it, you know, too hard. Like you heard from Cecilia, you know, she has her ways of sharing and it's working for her and putting it out there. You've got to find what works for you, your audience, your friends, family, you know, depending on your goals, you know, all of that. So really, just take it in if you've listened to Super Saturday. If not, I know the replay will be available, I believe, on the 10th I saw today. So, you know, just keep those simple things in mind and utilize these tools. You guys utilize the IPA sheets and the connection list and just all of that stuff. It's great. So, power of three. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Or if anybody else would, I would love to have anybody else that wants to share any takeaways they got from Super Saturday or anything that anybody wants to talk about tonight.
Me, always. I'm sorry. I had to come on just because you guys that were not in Scottsdale, you got to see Jeannie on TV. Well, I got to see her before she went on TV. This woman had it. She had it all together. When she walked out, we were like, oh, because we talked about the dress before. She didn't tell us what it was. And I'm telling you what, she walked out and we're back there dying. I'm doing a live right then. I didn't even say who it was. I'm like, I gotta go. They're on stage. And I turned it off and I sat down. I was locked in. She looked so amazing, did such an amazing job. And I don't know how many times I actually told her, because every time I'd sit by her, I'd be like, Jeannie, you killed it. And I also had to throw out there for our new Miss Celebrity, Summer Glenn.
Yes.
How amazing she did Friday night. I wish you guys, well, I guess if you've seen the team
Yeah.
page, you know, it was recorded. That was incredible. And then people were showing pictures of Summer with Tarl, and then the fact that they used her story. So the people that you hear screaming when they said, "Is Summer Glenn there?" I was right by her. Gil was right in front of her. Tina's right by her. We are screaming, "She's right here!" Summer didn't even hear her own name be said. She's hearing this, Silver Ambassador, Summer Glenn, and I'm smacking her in the leg. Summer, Summer. And she's like, then her eyes just got big, and it was like, it dawns on her. They're telling her story up on the stage for Super Saturday, and it was amazing. It was mind-blowing, and this was our team, you guys. Yeah. This is our team. Our emeralds up there. Our senior gold, blue. I have to tell the story of an emerald that we didn't know was going to be there, with pink hair, personality to die for, jumped up right before Summer, and Summer leaned over and silently mouthed, "How in the blank am I supposed to follow her?" Because the girl was amazing. And we just told her, "Summer, you're going to kill it. You will kill it." And she got up there, and it was so dramatic. I mean, she had everybody in tears. The whole back row was cameras. Everybody was recording Summer. It was all about Summer. It was really a neat thing. And to say that this all started from Jeannie sharing with the rest of us,
very good point,
that we would not be on this team, and we are very lucky. I just had to say, but seriously, she clasped up the joint. Not kidding. Just had to say it.
Very much. I appreciate that very, very, very much, more than you guys know. So thank you. It's kind of a rush, pretty crazy rush, but all of you guys will be doing the same thing one day. So I'm telling you, it can happen. You guys know, most of you know me and where I come from. It can happen to anybody if I get that chance. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is your guys' chance to do that as well. So thank you, Edith, very much. Libby, did you have something you wanted to add?
Well, I feel like I kind of missed out on a ton because we didn't hear everything. There's stuff that Jimmy's talking about that we didn't talk about at our Super Saturday. So, each diamond must have ran with maybe a little bit of what they wanted to add to it. And so we had Helen McFadden in Salt Lake. And just something that really hit me is, some of us get runners and some of us don't. And I've heard, some ambassadors say, well, if I only had a so-and-so. And one thing that Helen said that really that I loved was, she said, if it is to be, it's up to me. And I've heard her say that at convention. She said, if it is to be, it's up to me. And so, we really just have to be that. Instead of wishing that we had that person, be that person that we wish we had on our team. And then just one other little quote that hit me hard was, listen to understand, not respond. We're really quick to want to throw up on them and share everything we possibly can, and we don't even listen to what really is truly going on, and getting maybe some deeper details on where they're at and what they truly need, whether it be products, financial, whatever. So
yep. Love it, Libby. Love it. Thank you, Libby, for those. Yes, I've heard Helen say that, and it's one of my favorite things that she says, and it is so true. It's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, Jeannie, can I add something to that just a little bit? Because I know my team has heard it, because when it happened, I shouted it all over my team pages, but there's so many here that probably haven't. You look at Dana's story. She's a gold ambassador. It took her a year to get to gold. She ranked up to gold in June. In May, she signed what at that time was her, I guess, runner, somebody that was actually helping her a little bit as far as duplicating and adding some people to the team. But the majority of those 100 points was 100% Dana. And here we are several months down the road, and that person, she's still qualifying, her team's still qualifying, but she's not really doing anything. The ones that Dana's now running with are completely different people. Totally. So if you're not to silver yet, or you're fighting getting to gold and it's been a long road, don't give up. And just like Liberty said, it's up to you. You have to be that person. If you are looking for that rock star, you need to go look in the mirror, because your team, and just like I think Marcin said earlier when he was talking about convention, your team, they're going to follow you. They are going to do what you do. You slow down, then they're going to slow down. When I look at Dana, there have not been many months that she has not gone silver every single month. So,
Yep.
yeah, just if you want it, you can't rely on other people.
Right.
Hopefully, yes, you will eventually get those runners, but you're the one that needs to make sure that you're doing the work. Anyways.
Jimmy, yep. And we've learned that from experience. That's not from other people telling us, because I've seen it happen. And it's crazy, because you think, no, really? It does. It's kind of freaky how it's crazy. So I agree. Yes. Thank you. Awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And Libby, congrats too on having so many of your team in Salt Lake. That was super cool to see and have a great group of people there. So I was really proud of you and all those people to be there with you. That's a huge, huge success. So be proud of yourself on that. Any other questions or additions? You guys, anybody wants to add? I know we're probably, oh yeah, we're like 45 minutes. This is good stuff. Anybody else have anything else they want to add before I let you guys go? Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Those of you who shared your tips and stuff tonight and your takeaways, everything was great. So you guys have a great evening. Thank you guys all so much. And thank you for joining me tonight and everybody else. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you.
Thank you.